Welcome back to FM Story. We're approaching the end of season 1 of the Glory Hunt, and things have gone better than expected. We are doing far better than we expected in the league. We're currently sat third, a point behind second with a game in hand on them. Although, unfortunately, that game in hand is against Man City, who are 7 points clear at the top of the table. But the two competitions we were focusing on this season, the Conference League and the FA Cup. Conference League, we've made it through to the quarterfinals. FA Cup, we're through to the semi-finals. Unfortunately, we didn't get the best of draws in either of those competitions. We've got Eintracht Frankfurt in the Conference League, and we've got Liverpool in the FA Cup. So without further ado, let's see if we can pick up a trophy in season 1 to start the save off in the best possible manner. It's been an eventful end to the season, and we've still got 2 games left. As you can see, we're in the FA Cup final. We're also in the final of the Europa Conference League as well. We ended the last episode after we'd beaten Chelsea at the end of March. We followed that up with a 2-1 victory against Man City. We were terrible in the first half, and then we came up with 2 goals in 6 minutes in the second half late on to come away with the 3 points. We then had a comfortable victory at home against Tottenham 3-0. And the first leg against Eintracht Frankfurt, we had a very limited squad to pick from with suspensions and injuries. We eventually came away with a 2-1 victory from that first leg. It wasn't looking great when they took the lead just before half-time, but we were able to go in at half-time level. And then Leon Bailey with a goal in the second half saw us come away with that 2-1 victory. We then drew 0-0 against Man United away from home in the league. It was a bit of a nothing game. Really, they had more chances than we did. And then the second leg against Eintracht Frankfurt, it looked as though we were going through. And then they scored with practically the last kick of the game. We got a goal early in extra time to put us back up 3-2 on aggregate. And then as they were pushing on late on, we were able to pick them off on the counter-attack twice and came away with a 3-1 victory on the night, 5-2 on aggregate to see us through to the semi-final. We then had the semi-final of the FA Cup against Liverpool, and it was truly a one-sided game. They dominated the game. And then what happened was we brought Emi Buendia off the bench because we were seriously short of players. His first appearance of the season, and within about 5 minutes of being on, he crossed the ball from the right to find John McGinn 6 yards out to walk home to put us in front. We were about 5 seconds away from going through in 90 minutes when Diego Jota raced through onto a long ball and levelled it at 1-1. And then we got the winner in extra time and spent the second half of extra time basically with everyone at the back on launching the ball forward and time wasting as much as we could to come away with the 2-1 victory after extra time to see us through to the final. We then played Newcastle in the league and we were pretty rubbish. They got 2 goals in 2 games and came away 2 goals in 2 minutes and came away with a victory. We then were at home to Fulham and went 2-0 up pretty early on. They pulled a goal back, but then we got a goal late on to secure the victory. The first leg in Slavia Prague, we suffered a bad injury to Alex Moreno, who's now out for the rest of the season. We came away with a 1-0 victory thanks to Ollie Watkins. We then were at home to Nottingham Forest and came away with a 2-1 victory. Again, we let them take us back to 1-1 before we went ahead and got the winner. And then the game in Slavia Prague in the second leg, we took the lead on the night just before half-time to put us 2-0 up on aggregate. We got another 2 goals just before the hour, and at that point decided we had a lot of games left and we were just going to rest some players. They did then come back into the game. In the end, we went through 4-2 on aggregate. It was probably closer than it should have been. We then had Brighton in the league, and we picked pretty much a as much of a rotated team as we could, because the day before Man City had wrapped up the title. Had we still been in the title picture, we'd have picked a different team. We were 1-0 down pretty early on. We did get an equaliser. They scored in injury time to go 2-1 up, and then we scored in the 96th minute to rescue a point. And then in the most recent league game, we won 2-0 pretty comfortably against Crystal Palace. So we do have 2 games left. First one is the FA Cup final against Man City. Obviously, we are big underdogs for that, but hopefully we can get a result and wrap the FA Cup up as far as the save's concerned. And then in the midweek afterwards, we travel to Greece, take on Fiorentina, and hopefully wrap that trophy up as well, because the Conference League might actually be the most difficult one to win in the save in terms of actually getting into the competition in the first place. So hopefully we can just box that one off in season 1. As far as the league is concerned, we finished second, and we ended up 4 points behind Man City, 82 points from 38 games. Obviously, we qualified for the Champions League next season. Whether we're still here or not, obviously, is a different matter. Ollie Watkins, second top scorer in the league with 20 goals. Emi Martinez, third with most clean sheets with 14 clean sheets during the season. But now the focus turns to Wembley and Man City in the FA Cup final. So this is the side we've picked for the final. It's pretty much our strongest available team. We are missing Alex Moreno, who's out injured. We're missing Leon Bailey, who's out injured. And we're missing Morgan Rogers, who is cup tied for the competition. The interesting thing looking at the Man City team is there's no Erling Haaland even on the bench. Julian Alvarez is only on the bench. Edison's not starting. So hopefully we've got a chance, if you know what I mean. But it's going to be a big ask. So both teams going with the 4-3-3. Gvardiol with a free kick for them. Into Foden. Oscar Bob goes round his man into the box. And Martinez thankfully turns it behind for a corner, because that wasn't the... It certainly isn't the start we're looking for here. Corner from Bernardo Silva, pulled back to Bob on the edge of the box. Back out to Bernardo Silva. Dina with the throw. Douglas Luiz. Dina into Watkins in the box. Takes the shot early. Surprises Ortega with how early it takes, but we're going to see a VAR check. Offside, flag went up. But it's being given to Dina to Douglas Luiz. And then Dina just plays it forward. Watkins takes it early. It might have got a nick off the defender. The keeper can't keep it out. Puts us 1-0 up. Just about onside as well. Right, Dina with another throw. Zaniolo this time. Back to Dina. Infield to Kamara from distance. And it skims the roof of the net. Dina with it. Corner headed clear. Now Diaby drifting in field. Shot gets a deflection. And it's easy enough for Ortega in the end. Free kick on the edge of the box. Dean needs to take it. Presumably he's going to go for goal here. He does. He just can't keep it down. And there we are, half-time, 1-0 up. And we've certainly, from the highlights, had the best of the chances. But they have such a talented team that we're going to have to dig in the second half. And we've got a couple of tired players that we've taken off in the midfield. Dina with the throw. McGinn back to Dina. McGinn into the box. Could have pulled it back. He goes for goal, smashes it off the crossbar, and it goes out for a throw-in. Right, this is probably a big problem for the Conference League final as well. Douglas Luiz having to come off, drop Tielemans in there, and bring Jacob Ramsey on. Dina with the free kick towards the back post, headed up in the air. And Rodri's bringing it clear. And now they're counter-attacking, and we've got numbers back, but Gordon into the box, goes down. And we're the architects of our own downfall again. Penalty to Man City. Bernardo Silva steps up to take it, sends the keeper the wrong way. And that's 1-1. 15 minutes left. Big 15 minutes here. Dini with a free kick. Goes long, looking for Watkins. Walker clears only as far as McGinn. Watkins to Ramsey. And we're back in front with less than 10 minutes left. What a finish that is. Dini goes long down the line. Watkins chases it. Walker half clears. McGinn down to Watkins. Simple first time ball, first time finish. And it beats the keeper for power, and that's 2-1. Right, less than 5 minutes left. 8 minutes of injury time from somewhere is all that stands between us and the first trophy, the save, but they've got the ball. Stones. Lewis. Gordon. Guardiol. Matheus Nunes from distance. And they've levelled it again. Work the ball in field. Nunes with time. Digs the shot out. Gave the keeper no chance from distance. And now we're going to be holding on for extra time. And there we are. Full time. At end of 90 minutes, 2-2. We go for another 30 minutes. Right, extra time underway. Dini with the throw. McGinn back to Dini. Crosses towards the far post. Buendia with the header. And it goes over the top. Grealish loses the ball to Concert. Diego Carlos goes back to Martinez. Tielemans to McGinn. Kellyman. Dini. Down this left-hand side. Infield to Kellyman. And Duran was about 4 yards offside. Right. Alvarez chips a free kick forward. Lewis misses the target. He was offside anyway, I think. And that's half time and extra time. Right, less than 5 minutes left before penalties. Into injury time. And we're headed to penalties. And we do not have very good penalty takers, and we have already lost one penalty shootout this season in the Carabao Cup to Arsenal in the third round. And now we head to penalties. They're up first. Bernardo Silva, who scored one in normal time to level the game up, steps up, scores, and puts them 1-0 in front. Tielemans stepping up first for us. Sends the keeper the wrong way, levels it at 1-1. Ricardo Horta on off the bench for them. And Martinez turns it around the post. John McGinn stepping up. Sends the keeper the wrong way. Makes it 2-1. Gives us an advantage. Gordon up for their third penalty. Sends Martinez the wrong way. Levels it at 2-2. John Duran with our third. Again sends the keeper the wrong way. And we're 3-2 up after 3 penalties. Julian Alvarez with City's fourth. and beats his compatriot, Diego Carlos, with our fourth. Smashes it into the top corner. Puts us 4-3 up after 4 penalties. Grealish has to score against his former club to make us have to take another penalty. Emi Martinez, the only one between him, goes the wrong way. And that's 4-4. And we now have a chance to win the FA Cup with this next penalty. Thought Martinez was taking that for a second. Jacob Ramsey, who got our second goal to put us 2-1 up in the 90 minutes, steps up and hits it straight down the middle, straight at the keeper. And now we're into sudden death. Rico Lewis, City. Good penalty. And now the pressure is really on us. And up steps Emi Buendia, who's been out injured for most of the season. He's only had a bit part role once he's come back. I thought he'd dragged that one wide. Rodri for City. It's getting tenser and tenser. Our 7th penalty to be taken by Torres. And he scores it. João Mario to take the 8th penalty for City. And Martinez saves it, and we've got another chance to win the shootout. Taking our 8th penalty is going to be Callum Chambers, who came off the bench in extra time for Ezri Konsa. He sends the keeper the wrong way, and in season 1 of the Glory Hunt save, we've boxed off the FA Cup, and we've still got the Conference League final to come. One of these ones that, had we not won this, having come so far in the competition, it would have been gutting, especially considering we were, we're leading twice. Where everyone's gone in this trophy presentation, I don't know. Everyone's back now. And we've lifted the FA Cup. So we're now on to the Conference League final against Fiorentina. We have a very, very, very tired squad, added to the fact that the injury that Douglas Luiz picked up in the FA Cup final means he's out for 5 to 6 weeks. And yeah, we're short on players. And this is going to be a tough game, but hopefully we can harness the spirit of the FA Cup final and win another cup final. Right, throw in Tielemans into Kamara, Carlos into McGinn, Zaniolo, Tielemans into the box. Oh, he's hit the bar. Doing the perfect start. Right there, counter attack on the left hand side. Force them back in field. Arthur. Kamara wins it. Tielemans onto Diaby. Putting in Watkins in the box. We're going to get a VAR check. It looks like it's onside. And it's been given. So Bonaventura gives it away. Kamara finds Tielemans, finds Diaby, who cuts inside, ball in behind the centre half. Watkins makes the run, finishes it, and puts us 1-0 up. He was comfortably onside in the end. They try to bring the ball out down this left-hand side. Infantino gone a long way with the ball. Pulls it all the way back to Arthur. Into Bonaventura, KO'd from right back. And they've levelled it up at 1-1. We let Infantino run a hell of a long way with the ball, and then they just work the ball across the pitch. Keogh gets in behind Zaniolo, who doesn't get back. And in the end, it's a pretty decent finish. There we are, half-time 1-1. Looking at most of the match, that's a pretty even first half. We've had a lot more of the ball, but we have also a lot more of a tired squad as well. Right, we made a couple of changes at half-time. Pau Torres and Tielemans are absolutely knackered, so we brought on Longlet and Jacob Ramsey. Right, Digne with a free kick, floats it towards the box. Still alive. Ponce finds McGinn, who smashes it from distance into the top corner and puts us 2-1 in front. Digne's free kick floated up. It ends up with Consa. He finds McGinn. It takes a big deflection when you see the replay. Defeats the keeper and puts us 2-1 up. Right, we've brought some more fresh legs on. Hopefully see this game out. We're into the last 10 minutes. Corner for us, Digne to take it. Goes to the back post. Longlet gets up at the back post. Powers his header past the keeper. And puts us 3-1 up with less than 10 minutes to play. And it looks like we're on our way to a second trophy of the save. Deep corner. Bit of an outswinger. Longlet gets up above his own man in the end. Powers the header past the keeper. We've got a free kick on the edge of the box. Digne to take it. Over the wall. Hits the woodwork. And they've hammered it clear, and Barak was taking it up the field, but nothing comes of it. Low cross in. Oh. We've got ourselves in an absolute mess at the back there. I don't even know what happened. The ball's just fired in. He pulls it across to no one. Digne passes it back to him, and he pops it past Martinez. To make things a lot more tense than they needed to be. There's 5 minutes of injury time to play. Digne with a corner. Lifts it up. It's headed up in the air. Watkins takes it down. Skips past a man. In fact, hurdled him. And then fires it past the keeper. The 4-2. Restores the 2-goal advantage. Gets his second goal of the game. And surely now the trophy is ours. I mean, he just hurdles the challenge and then just bends it past the keeper for 4-2. And there we go. Full time, 4-2, and the Europa Conference League trophy to add the FA Cup that we won on penalties. I mean, we did say at the start of this first season that we were focusing on the FA Cup and the Conference League, and we've won them both. I don't think we could have expected anything else. I mean, we've managed to finish second in the league as well. A great first season to the Save, and now we've got a decision to make about what we do next. And there we have it. Season 1 of the Glory Hunt are done, and we've already knocked off the FA Cup, and we've already knocked off the Conference League. And I'm glad we've knocked off the Conference League, because I think that's the hardest one to actually qualify for the team without getting sacked. Now, the big question is, what do we do with Aston Villa? Of course, it's been complicated a bit by where we finished in the league. So, we finished second. We were 4 points off Man City. But you look at the table, like Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Newcastle, with the money they've got and the squads they've got, you'd expect them to be above Villa. Arsenal have already changed the manager. They sacked Arteta in the summer. In fact, they sacked Arteta in December or January and replaced him with Zinedine Zidane. That leaves Chelsea, Liverpool and Newcastle, and all of those jobs are available. Now, we can have another season with Villa where we look to challenge for the title again and maybe even do something in the Champions League, or we can look to jump ship. And I think of the three, the most appealing job would be the Liverpool one. But then also, it's the European Championships this summer, so there's going to be international jobs available, which means there are going to be other jobs available. And looking at the job security, you've got Carlo Ancelotti at Real Madrid, job insecure. You've got Allegri at Juventus, is a job insecure. Not many other ones that are insecure. And then of the other jobs that are available, none of them are really title contenders in any of the other leagues. I mean, Monaco in France is probably the best, but really you don't want to go to France unless you're going to be PSG. So there's some soul searching to do before the start of next season to see where we end up. But and obviously there's a lot of things to weigh up before the start of next season to see where we end up. I think whatever happens in the European Championships might actually make a big difference depending on what jobs become available then. Think of the jobs available at the moment, really the Liverpool one, potentially with that squad, is the one I would be considering the most. I'm not sure that we'd be able to repeat the feat that we've done this season with Aston Villa in terms of challenging for the title, purely because the squad is so lacking in depth and the board doesn't seem to want to give me the money to spend. I think they've given us 40 million, which we would probably need to sell players that have been a key part of that first season before we would be able to really build a better squad. So I think it's probably, if there's a job that we get offered, I mean, that's obviously the other thing is, you can sit here and say, yeah, I think the Liverpool job, but we've got to be offered it first as well. So join us next time to see whether we're still at Aston Villa, or to see whether we've moved on, see whether we're still in the Premier League, or see whether we've gone abroad. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you then.